The traditional way of self-reflection takes way too long. I'm going to show you a new way to self-reflect that's way easier and requires way less thinking. If you're new here, my name is Carmen, and I teach content creators how to use artificial intelligence for their mental health. The challenges with self-reflection is that it's time-consuming, it requires way too much thinking, and it's hard to know what to do with it afterwards. Let me show you how you can use artificial intelligence to make the process easier by solving those challenges for you. In today's video, I'll walk you through frameworks and methods for self-reflection, and I'll show you how to use ChatGPT to self-reflect using prompts. The framework we will be using today to self-reflect is the Gibbs reflective cycle. This framework organizes the self-reflection process into 6 stages, which is to describe what happened, understand your feelings, evaluate what worked well and what didn't, analyze why things turned out the way that they did, come to a conclusion on what you learned from the experience, and have an action plan on what you will do differently next time. Before we dive into using AI for self-reflection, it's really important to understand the different ways that we can self-reflect and why it matters. Self-reflection isn't a one-size-fits-all. It can change depending on different goals and different situations. Let's look at a fictional character named Leah and understand how she uses different self-reflection styles to navigate her personal relationships. Problem-focused approach. After a misunderstanding with her new roommate, Leah takes a moment to reflect on how they can better communicate their needs and expectations. The action Leah takes is to initiate a calm conversation with her roommate, sharing her perspective and asking for feedback to create a shared set of house rules. This is important because open communication builds trust and mutual respect, reducing the likelihood of future misunderstandings and creating a more positive living environment. Self-focused approach. Following an argument with her boyfriend, Leah examines her emotional reactions, recognizing that her fear of abandonment might be influencing her behavior. The action Leah takes is to write down her feelings in a journal to clarify her thoughts before calling her boyfriend to discuss her concerns openly and honestly. This is important because journaling helps Leah process her emotions, while the open conversation builds understanding and strengthens the relationship by addressing the underlying fears. Critical self-reflection. When Leah feels frustrated with a colleague's work style, she questions her own assumptions and biases, considering whether her expectations are reasonable. The action Leah takes is to schedule a meeting with her colleague to understand their perspective and collaboratively adjust workflow expectations. This is important because addressing frustrations collaboratively improves teamwork and ensures both parties feel heard, fostering a more productive and positive work environment. Collaborative self-reflection. Leah and her sister have a heart-to-heart conversation, sharing their perspectives on their changing relationship as adults living in different cities. The action Leah takes is to suggest a monthly video call to stay connected. This is important because regular communication maintains their emotional connection. Structured self-reflection. Every Sunday evening, Leah journals about her relationships, using prompts to explore her feelings, actions, and goals for the coming week. The action Leah takes is to create a list of actionable steps, like reaching out to friends she hasn't spoken to recently, or planning a lunch with colleagues she wants to get to know better. This is important because breaking down goals into actionable steps helps Leah stay proactive in nurturing her relationships, ensuring they remain meaningful and intentional. Unstructured self-reflection. During a solo hike, Leah allows her mind to wander, gaining unexpected insights about her desire for deeper connections in her new city. The action Leah takes is she decides to join a local book club to meet people with shared interests. This is important because taking spontaneous action based on insights enables Leah to expand her social network and establish meaningful connections in a natural and enjoyable way. Reflection and action. During a first date, Leah consciously observes her own behavior and the dynamics of the interaction, making real-time adjustments to be more present and authentic. The action taken is that Leah focuses on active listening, maintains eye contact, and reframes her self-talk to stay relaxed and enjoy the moment. This is important because being present and authentic helps Leah build genuine connections, creating a positive foundation for a potential relationship. Reflection on action. After a challenging family gathering where political disagreements led to heated arguments and hurt feelings, Leah reviews the events, considering how she can better navigate family dynamics in the future. The action Leah takes is to make a note to approach sensitive topics differently next time and prepares conversation starters to keep discussions light and positive and away from politics. This is important because proactively planning responses reduces the chance of conflict at future gatherings and strengthens her ability to navigate complex family dynamics. Now that we understand the different self-reflection styles, let's look at the prompt that we're going to use. The prompt we are going to use is created based on the Gibbs framework. I'll go over this prompt in detail later. What we're going to do is we're going to save this prompt into ChatGPT. And the reason we want to do this is because it'll make the self-reflection process a lot easier. It means that you don't have to copy and paste the prompt each time you want to self-reflect. You can just call it using a key phrase. I'm going to first show you how the memory works by using some basic examples. So let's say we wanted ChatGPT to remember that we like strawberries. If you look here, it says memory updated, like strawberries. And if you go to manage memories, you can see here that ChatGPT remembers that we like strawberries. So let's test this memory and see how it works. I'm going to ask ChatGPT, what fruit do I like? And ChatGPT remembers that I like strawberries. Now I'm going to get it to remember that I like blueberries, as well as pickles. So now here, if we go to manage memories, you can see all three of them are here. Now, what if we want to forget a memory? There are two ways to do this. I can just tell ChatGPT to forget that I like strawberries, and now it's forgotten that I like strawberries. I can also go into settings, personalization, manage, and delete my memories this way. So if I click on this button that says forget, I can delete my memories that way. Or if you want to clear everything, you can click on this clear memories button. The other way that you can get it to clear memories is to tell it to forget everything. So now if we look back in the memories, everything is gone. Using the prompting method to get ChatGPT to delete your memories does work, but I don't like this method, mostly because you're using up tokens for no reason. The best way to do it is to really just go into manage memories and then manually delete it. So now that we know how memory works, let's actually save the memory. So I'm going to open a new chat and paste it below. Awesome. ChatGPT has saved our memory. Let me explain to you how this prompt works. So basically, I have given ChatGPT the instructions that when the key phrase self-reflection is detected, to apply this prompt to analyze the self-reflection below. Here, I have asked it to refer to me directly as you when addressing self-reflection and avoid referring to me as the user. This basically tells ChatGPT what style of communication that I want. ChatGPT has referred to me as the user in previous self-reflections, and it feels really disconnected when ChatGPT is like, oh, the user felt this way, the user felt that way. I'm going to show you how to use this prompt now. You can either write out your feelings or you can say it out loud. So if I'm writing out my feelings, I'm going to type in the key phrase, self-reflection. Then I'm going to put the date. So today's date is December 14th, 2024. And I like to also add the time so I remember what time I did the self-reflection. I'm not going to give it much context, but I'm just going to run it to show you how it works. So I basically just wrote, today has been a great day. And now it's run the prompt. So it gave me the description. You described today as a great day, told me my feelings. Your tone conveys positivity, suggesting feelings of joy, commitment, or satisfaction. Gave me an evaluation. Positive aspects. It's wonderful that you experience a day that turns out great, that stands out as great. Analysis. What contributed to this day being great? Did specific events, interactions, or achievements stand out? So now it's asking me more questions because I haven't given it a whole lot. Conclusion. While today was great, reflecting more deeply could reveal lessons or insights. For example, were there moments when you paused to appreciate the good things? Action plan. Dedicate a few minutes to writing about why your day was great. Highlight the events, emotions, or behaviors that contributed. So it's doing a really good job of just telling me, hey, you didn't give enough context to why your day was great. The other way to self-reflect is to use a microphone feature on your phone. So if I click this button here and I start talking, it's going to start transcribing everything I'm saying. So what you'll do here is you'll first type in self-reflection. And then you can either type in the date and time, or you can say it. December 14, 2024, 3:54 p.m. I am actually filming a YouTube video right now, and I am demonstrating how to use this. So it's transcribing everything I'm saying. The other way to do this is to actually click on the mic button. So before I do that, I'm going to manually input the date and the time. And then I'm going to click this button, and now it's going to transcribe everything I'm saying. And then once I'm done talking, I'm going to click this check mark here, and it will basically write out everything that I verbally said. I don't recommend using this option because I have had it glitch on me before where it lost my audio recording. So it's up to you which way you want to do it, but either or works. When you're actually recording the self-reflection, you can use the Gibbs framework as a loose guide, but mostly what I like to do is I like to just say how I feel. Now I'm going to show you one of my actual journal entries, and I'll show you how you can prompt back and forth with the AI. I'm going to run this self-reflection using the Keyphrase, and basically the summary of this self-reflection was that I was struggling with feeling unproductive, but I was trying to reframe my day by recognizing the positive moments, like my friends appreciating the social media reel that I put out. Let's go over these results. Description. On October 10, 2024, you reflected on your productivity and how it affects your feelings about the day. Feelings. You expressed frustration with tying your self-worth to productivity and seemed unsure about how to break this cycle. Evaluation. Positives. You engage in meaningful activities like food prepping, reviewing a workshop, and supporting your clients. This part's not actually correct because I don't have clients, but areas for growth. You tied your day's worth to productivity, creating a mental barrier to fully appreciating your efforts. Analysis. Several patterns emerge. You equate productivity with value, possibly influenced by societal norms or personal expectations. Conclusion. To approach similar situations differently, consider shifting the narrative from productivity to alignment. Did your actions reflect your values or goals, even if indirectly? Action plan. Daily gratitude check. At the end of each day, write down 3 things you're proud of, no matter how small. To interact with the self-reflection results, I'll go over some of the prompting methods that you can use based off of psychology concepts and techniques. There's quite a few of them, so I'm not going to go over every single one, but I will go through a few of them in detail, and then I'll read off the title off of the other ones. I will also leave this as a resource for you in the description so you can read over more thoroughly. So let's look at introspective prompting, which focuses on deeply exploring your internal thoughts, feelings, and motivations. An example of what this is are what fears or beliefs are holding me back from taking the next step. The purpose of introspective prompting is to gain clarity about your internal landscape and foster personal growth. Action-oriented prompting aims to identify solutions, next steps, or strategies for achieving goals. For example, what 3 actions can I take today to move closer to my goals? The purpose of this is to shift from self-awareness to actionable change. Exploratory prompting encourages you to think about new perspective, ideas, or possibilities. Example, if I could start over, what would I do differently and why? Purpose of this is to spark creativity and uncover new paths or solutions. We have strength-based prompting, scenario-based prompting. There's emotion-centered prompting, casual prompting, future-focused prompting, value-based prompting, contrastive prompting, analytical prompting. So this one looks interesting. Breaks down situations or experiences to understand contributing factors. For example, what role did my habits, mindsets, and external factors play in this outcome? Purpose is to gain clarity on dynamics and influences for a deeper understanding. There's gratitude-based prompting, self-validation prompting, meta-reflection prompting, and decision-making prompting. So let's take a look at this and see how we can use one of these prompting methods on the right-hand side to get more information from our self-reflection results. So looking at this prompting list, I'm going to actually use self-validation prompting. So the prompt I'm putting into ChatGPT is to use self-validation prompting to give me ideas on how to celebrate vulnerability using my self-reflection words. What I did with this prompt is I copy and pasted this part and put it here. So ChatGPT would have a reference that I want this used with self-validation prompting. So let's take a look at the results. Here are some ways you can celebrate your vulnerability based on your reflection and self-validation. Number 1, acknowledge the courage that it takes. Remind yourself that sharing your struggles is an act of bravery. For example, tell yourself it took strength to release that reel and show my real thoughts. Not everyone has the courage to do that. Number 2, reflect on the impact. Revisit the kind messages from your friends and affirm, my vulnerability helps someone else feel seen. That's a win regardless of likes or views. Celebrate with intentional rituals. Create a reminder. Make a small piece of art. Mindful pause. Set aside time to appreciate your effort. Light a candle or sip a favorite drink. Reframe the experience. When you feel doubtful, remind yourself, the number of people reached doesn't define the value of my message. Even one person connecting with it matters. Let's look at this one and see if we can use introspective prompting to get more information. So here it says you equate productivity with value, possibly influenced by societal norms or personal expectations. So I'm just going to say use introspective prompting to explain why I may have felt this way in more detail. And then I pasted this below. So this, I just pasted underneath. So ChatGPT has a reference on what I'm referring to. So ChatGPT says to explore why you may equate productivity to value, consider the following introspective prompts. They are designed to guide you towards understanding deeper influences, both internal and external, that may shape your mindset. Early conditioning. What messages about productivity or achievement did I receive growing up? Were they tied to love, approval, or self-worth? So for me, that question kind of reminds me of my childhood, where I only got praise when I got good grades. So that led me to being a perfectionist and also having unreasonably high expectations and high goals. So now looking at the reflection, it's saying, did you often hear things like hard work pays off or you need to earn your success? Perhaps productivity was praised in school, work, or family settings, and those experiences could have shaped your belief that being productive equals being worthy or successful. Literally exactly what it just said. I didn't even actually read that before I said that, so that really trips me out, but that's spot on for me. I'm just going to go over the rest of these quickly. So, number 2, societal influence. What societal norms or cultural values might have reinforced the belief that productivity determines value? Reflection. We live in a society that often glorifies busyness and achievement, celebrating outcomes over effort or personal growth. Personal expectations. What standards have I set for myself regarding productivity? Are they realistic or do they reflect perfectionism? Reflection. If you hold high expectations for what productive looks like, perhaps equating it to completing a long to-do list or achieving measurable milestones, you might be overlooking smaller, meaningful accomplishments. Emotional connections to achievement. When I achieve something tangible, how does it make me feel? What happens emotionally when I perceive I've fallen short? Reflection. If accomplishing tasks provides a sense of control, fulfillment, or even temporary relief, it's possible you've associated those feelings with validation. Fear of stagnation. Do I associate stillness or less visible progress with failure or regression? Why? Reflection. You may fear that slowing down or not visibly achieving something significant means falling behind. Core values and goals. How do my personal goals and values align with how I define a good day? Reflection. If your goals are ambitious or long-term, you might focus more on big-picture achievements, inadvertently minimizing the importance of small, incremental actions that align with your values. Self-talk patterns. Prompt. What do I say to myself on days I feel unproductive? How does that compare to my self-talk when I feel accomplished? Reflection. Harsh self-talk on less productive days may stem from internalized beliefs that self-worth is conditional on output. Learning to speak to yourself with compassion can help break this cycle. You can also run this prompt manually. So Here I have the Gibbs prompt, and then my self-reflection is beneath. So you don't have to always call on the memory to get the self-reflection results. Let me know in the comments down below if any of the prompting methods stood out to you and if you would be interested in trying any of them. The final step in self-reflection is deciding if and how you're going to record your thoughts. Personally, for me, I like putting them into a journal, and this is a great way to just track my progress. To make this easier, I have a Notion journal that you can download for free, and I also have a video demonstrating how to use this journal. I'll leave this in the description below. Now that you know how to self-reflect, what if you can make it more personal and tailored to who you are? In my next video, I'm going to show you a hack that I have to train AI on your likeness so that you can get these personalized results.